You've kind of been waiting for that question, to be fair. Well, Carney, the game has evolved a lot since I played because I'm very old. But it's look, it was a game there of set piece and a couple of phases. It was less physical. There was lots of sort of passive defence, and it was more about sort of drifting and holding and making side-on tackles. Now the game's really aggressive, a lot of front-on tackles. It's about ball and play, that sometimes the ball and play is over 2 minutes. You got a lot more rucks, and so the whole strategy and how we coach decision-making so much there. So I'm certainly glad I'm not a player now. Well, yeah, your question about hot chips and pies, I'm not sure you've asked me. I've never touched a chip or a pie in my life, but I have heard that that they're quite good, but I'm more of a hot dog person myself, so I can't answer your question. Thanks, BJ. There's lots of people that have influences in different areas, and you know, an old mate of mine, Dwayne Monkley, who I played with, used to always say when he was asked, you know, who had the biggest influence on him, he'd say every coach he's ever had, because you learn something from everyone. And I think I've probably got a similar story. You know, I think it doesn't matter whether you like someone that you're working with or you're exposed to in terms of a working environment, whether you agree with everything you do, but if you have a learning mentality, you pick up something from everyone. And so, you know, so Dwayne taught me that, and there's an old guy called Brian Clark who was an old legend in Waikato who's still, and I brought him in as a bit of a mentor to make sure I stayed true to the values that I wanted to coach by, and he's a great sounding board for me. And then there's obviously the people that I work with, and most recently it's hard to look past Steve and Mike Cron for the influence they've had, and you know, very experienced, been through a lot of tough moments and good moments as coaches, and so listening to them and seeing how they've responded has been a fantastic opportunity for me. Halftime oranges. Funny, when you look at the tray now in the middle of the team room, there's a whole lot of different stuff now. There's protein, and there's berries, and there's shakes, and there's lollies. I like the lollies, but it's certainly one of the things that there are some players that do like a little bit of fruit at halftime, but and who's to say that the oranges weren't right, because they certainly were good for us in the old days. But there's a concoction of ideas now, and apparently it's sports sciences has shown us that there's some other things that are worthwhile. We've kind of been waiting for that question, to be fair.